Scientists have finally penetrated the interior of an enigmatic structure located in Turkey, long associated with the legendary Noah's Ark. What they found caused astonishment. The Book of Genesis reports that Noah is said to have come to rest in the mountains of Ararat. Could it be that this formation truly corresponds to the vessel described in the scriptures? For decades, the debate oscillated between religious conviction and scientific skepticism. For many, the Ark was nothing more than a moral allegory. For others, it was a real object lost somewhere in the mountains of eastern Turkey. A discreet advance rekindled the discussion. Turkish researchers announced they had identified indications suggesting that the biblical account may correspond to a verifiable historical event. Beneath thick layers of soil, radar examinations revealed a gigantic formation with contours remarkably similar to those of a ship. No definitive proof was proclaimed, but a concrete possibility of dialogue between faith, history, and science was opened. As excavations advanced and analyses deepened, global attention converged on the site. The ancient tradition of a worldwide flood, present in multiple cultures, ceased to be viewed solely as myth and began to be considered a possible collective memory of a remote event. Three-dimensional scans revealed parallel lines, right angles, and elongated uniform structures, resembling the measurements described in the ancient text. The question gained new strength. Had the Ark been found? The investigation focused on Mount Tendurek, a volcanic formation located near Mount Ararat, an arid, rugged region distant from urban centers. Aerial photographs taken decades ago revealed an almost perfectly oval contour, resembling the hull of a gigantic vessel apparently fossilized in the terrain. This formation became known as the Durupinar site, a natural ridge more than 500 feet in length, a dimension surprisingly close to that mentioned in ancient sources. Although such coincidence did not constitute conclusive proof, it was sufficient to awaken renewed scientific interest. Unlike explorers of the past, the current team employed ground-penetrating radar, underground three-dimensional imaging, and instruments capable of mapping geological layers with remarkable precision. Natural irregularities typical of volcanic formations were expected. However, the results showed extensive straight lines, defined angles, symmetrical compartments, and organized layers as if they were overlapping floors. Nature rarely produces such regular alignments. Furthermore, the internal proportions approached the dimensions attributed to the Ark in ancient accounts. Soil analysis brought new elements to light. Samples collected within the formation showed a higher concentration of organic matter and a mineral composition distinct from the outer areas. Vegetation growing directly above the contour also differed slightly from the surrounding area, suggesting chemical alterations in the subsurface. Nearby, large stones with upper perforations were found, resembling possible anchors or stabilization devices. Local inhabitants had transmitted for generations stories of petrified wood and metallic remnants discovered after storms. Additional drilling allowed the insertion of special cameras into underground cavities. The images revealed internal divisions with repetitive patterns and defined edges. Nothing was declared conclusive. The researchers emphasized the need for further testing, laboratory analysis, and rigorous academic review. Even so, they acknowledged that the formation did not behave like simple natural rock. Decades earlier, American Ron Wyatt, an anesthetic nurse from Tennessee, had claimed to have discovered the Ark. Inspired by a photograph published in Life magazine, he began a search that extended for 22 years. He claimed to have identified petrified wood consistent with ancient shipbuilding, metallic objects interpreted as structural fasteners, and geometric patterns beneath the surface. He also declared having located other biblical artifacts. Critics pointed to methodological flaws and the absence of formal archaeological training. Supporters maintained that he had faced academic resistance. The debate remains to this day. The flood account is not exclusive to the Hebrew tradition. Scholars identify similar narratives in approximately 200 cultures. In the 1st century, the historian Flavius Josephus stated that remains of the Ark were located in the region of Armenia. Jewish, Christian, and Islamic traditions reinforced this belief over the centuries. In 1876, James Bryce presented a fragment of wood collected above the tree line on Ararat, although he admitted possible natural explanations. In 1959, Turkish captain İlhan Durupinar recorded, during an aerial mission, an image of an elongated formation south of Ararat. Later investigations classified it as a geological phenomenon. Even so, curiosity persisted. During the Cold War, satellite images fueled new speculation. In 2003, an orbital photograph rekindled enthusiasm but did not provide proof. In 2010, the NAMI group announced an alleged discovery of wooden compartments on Ararat. The images circulated globally, but questions regarding authenticity and methodology weakened the claim. At the same time, alternative hypotheses pointed to Mount Kudi and Mount Suleiman, but without consistent physical evidence. Another investigative line shifted focus to the Black Sea. Oceanographer Robert Ballard, known for the discovery of the Titanic, examined a hypothesis proposed by researchers from Columbia University. About 12,000 years ago, melting ice would have drastically raised sea levels, and waters from the Mediterranean would have violently breached the Bosporus Strait, flooding the Black Sea basin. At approximately 400 feet in depth, ancient shorelines were identified. Dating indicated an approximate period of 5,000 before Christ. Although it did not prove the existence of Noah, the hypothesis suggested a catastrophic event capable of giving rise to flood traditions. The current distinguishing feature of the Durupinar site lies in its data-oriented methodology. Scans reveal linear patterns between 8 and 20 feet below the surface, distinct chemical signatures, and possible internal divisions. This does not constitute unequivocal confirmation of a vessel, yet it does not correspond to a common formation of the region either. The team maintains a cautious stance: analyze, compare, test, and submit to scientific review. The discussion transcends archaeology. For many believers, the possibility revives ancient convictions. For scientists, it is a geological or historical phenomenon to be explained with rigor. Historians recall that flood accounts are recurrent in ancient civilizations, suggesting a shared memory of a significant event. If there truly is an artificial structure beneath the mountain, its origin, dating, and purpose will need to be clarified. If, on the other hand, the formation proves to be an unusual natural phenomenon, it will still have contributed to expanding the geological and historical knowledge of the region. Thank you for watching. While you are here, do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Click on one of the recommended videos on the screen for more incredible information. See you there.